Hello, everyone. This is the Divinely Blessed podcast, and this is your host, Rose Gold. Today, we're going to start off with a meditation. Breathe in and breathe out. And think about the space that you want to see yourself in. And picture that version of yourself in your mind's eye. Imagine and take actions to align yourself with that version of you. And that is how you will shift your mindset into believing you are capable. You can do it. It is possible. All things are possible. It's just a matter of whether you believe it's possible. Inhale. And now, with this version of yourself, you are going to exhale that into your reality. And with each breath, you allow yourself to shift into that mindset. Your daily affirmation for today, you guys, is gonna be I will. Claim it. So today I want to talk about cycles. I find it pretty interesting how everything in this world revolves in a circle. Everything goes in a circle. From the weather cycle to the life cycle. We are born and then we live and then we die and then we are born again. And then we give birth. And it goes and it creates a pattern. And this pattern is our cycle. And it builds momentum and it just goes and it just continues endlessly. I find it strange how even the planets revolve around a main focal point, which would be the sun. And it goes in a circle around the sun. And the moon and the stars go in a circle around the earth. You know what I'm getting at? How everything just seems to connect. And everything is constantly evolving, constantly shifting, constantly growing and rising, and then falling and growing and rising again. I mean, I have a plant that's growing in my fridge right now, and it's thriving. So I say all this to say, what is your cycle? We need to sit and look over the cycles that have been playing out in our lives, the patterns that exist within our family lineage. So, what patterns are those for you? And if you can pinpoint those patterns, you can decide whether you want that to continue or not. You always have a choice. Everything is a choice. And no choice is also a choice. It's up to you whether you want to continue that cycle or you want to create and go off on another trajectory of existence and start a different pattern. And it's like putting something into motion. Because people are looking for purpose and meaning. And there are a lot of lost souls out there right now. And they're looking for a sense of routine. It's like we got lost in the shuffle or we got mixed up. And now everything is disheveled. And it's throwing everything off and upsetting the balance of things. And it's about finding balance within yourself. It's about claiming your truth and taking accountability, which is something that's very difficult for a lot of people. In fact, it can be one of the scariest things is knowing when to accept whether something was because, not that we're placing blame or anything, but more so knowing how to accept your part in things, in situations in your life. Knowing when to take accountability, knowing when to say, you're right. That was something that I could have changed or done better. That is something that I could improve on. And not taking it as a shock to the ego, but more so as a learning lesson, a learning curve. And you know what they always say is to finally succeed, you have to fail to learn how to win. And every time you keep trying, the only time when you actually fail in life is when you give up. When you decide that you put down and you raise that white flag. To me, I don't look at it. Many people will see the first obstacle, the first thing that stands in their way as an obstacle, but the right people will see it as an opportunity. The glass is always half empty, or is it half full? And it's really a matter of perspective. How can you change this particular thing that has been a pattern in my bloodline? And you're not changing it just for you. but for everyone after you. The decisions you're making in this life don't affect just you, but everyone that comes after you in your bloodline. And like I said, it all comes down to a cycle, having a routine, having a pattern, deciding what is best for you moving forward, and shifting into that ideal version of yourself. What does it take? All the things that you are seeking for are already within you. And you just have to take that time to really do some soul searching and realize that none of us are perfect, right? I think society has this obsession with perfection, and it's all just for show. It's all just to impress the next person. It's all just to, you know, cover up the truth that many people are actually struggling inside. And many people, just like you and me, that don't have it all figured out. And that's okay. The world is not ending. The world as we know it is ending. And even back in the day, Mayans had it all planned out. They made a calendar. They counted the days down until the world would end. But we're still here. And here people are saying, it's raining cats and dogs, or whatever the saying is. When pigs fly, right? I really believe that the earth is not ending, but this is a revolution. This is a revelation too. A major one, a wake-up call, Judgment Day. A lot of people are getting their judgment, and some don't even realize it. That even karma goes in a circle, just like circles, patterns. It all goes around and around. And we are just being reborn again. We are just cleansing. The earth is cleansing itself. The earth is shifting. The earth doesn't move on our time. Just because we invented the clock doesn't mean that the earth is going to stick to our schedule, to our social concept, as if the deer and the wilderness stop sleeping when we clock out of, um, when we set our alarm. The world doesn't stop when we go to bed at night. The world doesn't stop because we are asleep. So I feel like humans have to understand that there's so much more to life than clocking into a 9 to 5 and watching Netflix and binge eating on a Friday evening with a bag of chips and, you know, a tub of ice cream in the other hand. It's not, we need to get back to basics. I feel like we need to understand that every element of our lives, every little detail that we dismiss as insignificant, really plays a major significant role in our lives. And for example, it starts with being grateful for the things that you already have and understanding that everybody depends on everybody. Because without other people, you wouldn't be able to go into your kitchen, turn the tap water on, and have that water delivered straight to your door, straight to your kitchen, without other people that have sacrificed dinners and time with their family to be able to make sure that you have running water that's clean and safe for consumption. To make sure that you have lights coming to your home. To even produce the things that you're using to watch this video right now. And I think a lot of people get lost in the everyday to day things that they forget that everything took work. Everything required labor to be able to make it possible for you and for me to do simple things that we perceive as simple. But back in the day, people had to hand wash their laundry in the river. But someone made it possible for us today to be able to go and wash clothes in the laundromat. And that sounds so simple and so, you know, minuscule to some people, but they don't appreciate all of that time that went in to making that possible for us. And these are just normal everyday things that we take for granted that have really made a big difference in our life. And guess what? Those people didn't just automatically come up with those things. They had to go through a series of tests to figure out the best way to make something work. And it was like solving the $1,000,000 question. But there's always going to be another question. There's always going to be another spectacle. And I just think it's really important for us to give back to the basics and be grateful for the things that we have instead of constantly thriving and constantly striving for more, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just important to really take the time to appreciate that you have a body and you have hands and you have feet. And these are just normal everyday things, but some people don't. And it's important to think about those people too and pray. Pray for the people who are going without. Pray for the people who are struggling. You know, the veil is lifting. We've always been this way, it's just been amplified. And this is a cycle, this is a pattern. And this is something that's been happening since the beginning of time. But now we're much more able to see it clearly now. It's becoming harder and harder to hide. But it's about choosing to change the cycle, break the cycle, and find out where you could make the difference in your bloodline. Because you're not doing it just for you, you're doing it for everyone that's standing alongside you. So don't. We are not victims. We are the next generation. We are the next generation. We're the next generation of firefighters and first responders and lawyers and doctors. But it's like nobody's really taking it serious anymore. But if you can just start from within and understand that this is not the end, this is the beginning of a change. And pray for all of the lost souls and all of the people who are looking for meaning in their life. And learn to be grateful, even for the small things, even for the things most people take for granted. Because gratitude will bring you more gratitude. The more you are grateful for the things that you have, the more you are likely to attract more reasons to be grateful. It's important to remember where you come from. So that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope that you take something from this episode and maybe apply it to your own life and see the results. And open your mind and have a wider perspective on things. And learn to accept yourself fully for who you are and know and learn. Learn yourself and explore. Because we are so much more than the clothes that we wear. We are so much more than the money we make. We're so much more than the car we drive or, our status in society. It's deeper than that. So that was my episode for Divinely Blessed. I enjoyed giving this message out to you guys. And definitely feel free to check out our other videos and hit subscribe, like, and comment. I will leave the website down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.